Welcome to Employment Law This Week. I'm George Whipple. While Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination makes its way through Congress, we're looking ahead to what her place on the court could mean for future employment law decisions. Epstein Becker Green's David Garland analyzed her judicial record for a hint of how she might rule in the future, and the results might surprise you.
During her time on the Seventh Circuit, Judge Barrett has decided about 20 labor employment cases where she's written the opinion. And I would say of those 29 or so stood out. And they ranged in issues from discrimination, hostile environment, the interactive process in discrimination cases, to whether or not a particular claim is subject to arbitration. It's interesting to note that in those 9 cases where she wrote the opinion, none of her colleagues dissented. And the fact that these opinions were unanimous suggests that her views on labor employment cases may be considered centrist. Judge Barrett on the Seventh Circuit has been very respectful of jury verdicts. So in an employment case where the jury has found in favor of the employee, we should not expect her to disturb that verdict. One example where Judge Barrett affirmed a jury verdict occurred in a case brought by the EEOC against Costco. In that case, the EEOC had alleged that an employee of Costco had been harassed by a customer. The jury agreed with the EEOC and entered a verdict for the employee. On appeal, Judge Barrett looked at the totality of the circumstances, the entirety of the environment, and went through the evidence in some detail, and held that the evidence indeed did support the jury verdict, and therefore the verdict was affirmed. But I'm always mindful when making predictions about how a future Supreme Court justice might rule in a particular case, that should be done with some trepidation. Looking back in history, a number of justices ended up ruling in cases where the president's nominating them certainly didn't expect the outcomes that were produced in those cases. While we might expect Justice Barrett to lean toward management in labor and employment cases, her opinions in the Seventh Circuit suggest that may not always be the case.
Thanks, David, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.